folks, the Filipina P here, and you might be wondering why we're all in the pool, but why not? It's a sunny day today, and instead of sitting on a couch somewhere, we decided to have a chat over here. So today, ladies, we're going to be talking about how to date a Filipina. And are you guys ready to spill the beans?
Yes.
All right, so folks, I think you're going to like this one. So folks, you might know Angel and Fritchie.
All right. They say a bunch of things here. I'm going to do a series on this one video, and it has nothing to do with me looking at the girls in the pool. But they said some things here that I want to touch on, and I'll agree with the ones that I agree on. But there's some things here about Filipina culture, and I didn't say Filipino, I said Filipina culture. They're, another thing that I'm noticing, I think that the Filipinas are more feminist with Filipino men. And this is one of the reasons why they have such a problem with Filipino men. Because if they want to be feminists, I think feminism is actually what's going on, but the difference between here and the West is a woman can choose to either be a feminist, okay, or she can choose to be submissive. It's a choice. It's not really her character all the time. It's the choice that she makes because she knows how to do it. These Filipinas, they know how to be submissive, okay, because it's their old culture and they study it, okay. But they also know feminism. They actually study feminism. Women over here in the West, they just end up in feminism and they read good books, or they read crazy books. They read evil books, okay. But these girls know how to be feminists, and I think when it comes to Filipino men, they practice more feminism with Filipino men. That's why they don't get along as well as they should. But when they date Western men, they put on the show like they're non-feminist, 100% submissive, and, look out, I'm gonna bring you into the heavenlies when you date a Filipina kind of attitude, okay? First of all, this one here, I want to talk about this age gap. I couldn't understand why it bothers me, but I think it was Mike's Filipina journey that really said some things that were really honest. Mike's Filipina journey. Mike's Filipina journey, or Filipino journey, is the name of his channel. He said some things about the age gap, and I might already recorded some of it, but it was really different. Really different, okay? So this is what I want to say here. I have 3 reasons here why Filipinos would want to date, why they are so into the age gap. Now, first of all, me personally, as old and ugly looking as I am, I want whatever woman I'm with, okay, to be attracted to me. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust a woman that's not attracted to me. And you say you're attracted to me, how? I've seen some women, like black women, for instance, try to show me how they were attracted to me. But it was only if I followed certain rules of the relationship. Like, it was only if I compromised some of my dignity and respect for myself that they were attracted to me. In other words, again, feminism. They wanted me to, relax some of my rules and laws and morals that I had for myself for them. And they basically wanted me to think that I'm attractive based on what? Based on them being in charge and them running my life for me. And I opted out. I said no. Okay? I opted out. I said no. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm in charge of my own life. As a born-again Christian, I am in charge of my own life. Okay? Just like she's in charge of her own life. Now, I'm willing to keep my woman and give my woman everything I can afford to give her, even if it means I have to sacrifice from myself to give to her. That's what my Bible teaches me. But what I'm not willing to do is I'm not willing to cross my own morals. I'm not willing to cross the good things that my mother has taught me, okay, and the men of the church have taught me, the saints of the church have taught me. I'm not crossing that. I'm not giving that up. And when my wife walks out of my home, sometimes I can't believe I'm divorced because my ex-wife never gave me any of these problems. But when my wife leaves the home, I'm still her husband. I'm not only her husband when we're naked and in the bedroom. I'm still her husband. When she walks out that door every day, I am her husband. And what she does in public, okay, affects me. Her social life and all, like the whole Dave Chappelle thing. Okay? Here's a touch of submissiveness that'll make you cut this camera off, but I'm gonna say it. Dave Chappelle made a joke about when he's away and he's on tour. First of all, when you get married, your wife should be touring with you. But, his wife, I guess she does have a job or something. She's into something. I don't know. But to me, when you get married, you know what I'm saying? Your wife is your wife. I don't care if you've been going for 2 weeks, a month. I don't care where you're touring at in the world. Your wife is your wife. And her politics are your politics. Your politics are her politics. Your beliefs, your religion, your faith is hers too, as well. Dave Chappelle said that he gets upset with his wife because he comes home from touring to find all these gay people at his house. Okay? My wife don't hang around gay people. And I don't care whether they're gay men or lesbians. My wife don't hang out with gay people because I don't hang out with gay people. Now, if she's okay with gay people being gay because she believes that maybe they really love each other or whatever, maybe she thinks God will have mercy on them on Judgment Day or whatever, that's fine. That's where we might agree to disagree. But whether or not they're going to be in my house, hanging around my wife, first of all, they still got penises. And ain't nobody really gay in the beginning. Anybody can transfer from being gay. This is another video. And that's all I'm going to say about this. Anybody can transfer to being gay and transfer back to being straight in a moment. And if you've never been straight before, you're in for a surprise the minute you accidentally, if that's what happened, lay down with somebody of the opposite sex. No. Ain't no gay men definitely hanging out in my house, and I don't trust no gay women. What do you want to hang around with my wife for if your thing is women? No. The only people that will be in my wife's house when I'm not home, the only people that will be in my house is number one, women of the church, women of God. Okay? If you have a problem with that, if she has a problem with that, Won't nobody be in my house but her while I'm out. Nobody gay is keeping my wife company. It's not happening. Okay? This is one of the reasons why these girls do this. And I'm getting ready to mention that. But I just wanted to throw that in there where these girls lack submissiveness in that area. Like, Dave Chappelle's married to an Asian woman who thinks that, okay, he's touring, she can have gay people hanging out in her house when Dave Chappelle detests gay people being in his house, and he said he just hates it. That's not a submissive wife. Okay? Now, you say, oh, well, Dave Chappelle finds ways to have irreconcilable differences, and any man that's really a man, he really got hair on his chest, he'll have irreconcilable differences. Yeah, we can have irreconcilable differences. We can have irreconcilable differences whether you want to be 250 pounds or 150 pounds. I can accept that. We can have irreconcilable differences of whether you want, maybe a cat or a dog or something. And, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no animals, but you could persuade me to love a cat or love a little puppy and that's going to grow into a nice little beagle or something. You could persuade me into that. But to have gay people hanging out in my house? No. Not that I got anything against gay people. You're going against my faith. You're going against my religion. You're going against my politics. You're going against my safe places. I don't feel safe with a bunch of gay people hanging around my wife. And the fact that it's so easy for them to flock in there knowing that I'm not happy with it. And being alone in that house with my wife. I don't trust that. Okay? I don't trust that. Now, I hope I didn't ruin the whole video by saying that. But I'm talking to the people that watch my channel. Okay? All right? Now, why do these Filipinas, and I'm going to say some offensive things right here, and I know the Filipina P is going to proofread this video. I hope she don't hate me for this, because I do believe I'll meet her one of these days when I go to the Philippines, because, unless she's lying, I will meet her. I believe I'll meet her before I die, by accident. I might have to wave at her from clear across the ocean or something, but I will see her in live form one of these days. Okay? I would like to sit down and talk to her about the Lord. I really believe that she's too beautiful for the devil. Okay? My personal belief. I'm tired of the devil having all the most beautiful things. And a lot of you watching are saying, well, Deroy, there's a reason for that. Well, beauty should be a power to minister to people. That's all it is. Okay? When you put your body out there like the other women are putting their body out there, you're just getting your body, more abused or whatever than the other women. Or you're getting men to act up more about sex or whatever. You're getting men to act like children about sex or whatever. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. First of all, before I get into the whole age gap thing, before I even get into it, this is where some of these Filipinas are dumb. When you got a bunch of old men, because they know about the age gap, getting on this woman right here, the one in the middle, 1, 2, 3 on my right, the most prettiest one in the bunch. Everywhere she goes, she's the most prettiest Filipina, in my opinion. She's always the prettiest. I don't know if she does that on purpose or what, but she's always the prettiest in the bunch, okay? The one in the blue bikini. The one doing all the talking, the one that's hosting the show. Drop dead gorgeous. I can't wait to see what she looks like when she's in her 40s. Because a lot of these women, while they're young, when they play this little mature game, they look so cute and so pretty when they're like that. But when they get to be 40, you ain't even going to recognize them, And so, but I hope she's just as pretty when she gets to be an old hag, or an old grandma. I hope she's just as pretty. Okay? I think she will be prettier than her age group in whatever age group she's in. But some of these girls are younger than her, like this one on the far right, on my far right. Okay, in the red. She's old. She's younger than her. And I think the one on the far left at the end is younger than her. But I could be wrong. I think they do mention her age. I'm going to make a series out of this video. There's going to be parts 1 through 4. This one's part 1. This is about the age gap. They talk about this at the end of the video, the age gap. But they cannot tell you the truth why they do it. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. First of all, I want my wife to be attracted to me. And I want to have great chemistry with my wife. And I know I'm ugly, but I'm going to say it again. I want my wife to be attracted to me. Marriage is hard enough. If you cannot find a woman that's attracted to you and attracted to your faith in God and attracted to the way you carry yourself, and you have all these generalizations in common and your mannerisms in common and so forth and that, if you don't have the chemistry, if you don't have attraction to each other, what you have is a hospice nurse, okay, that's giving you sex. When women prostitute themselves, they don't prostitute themselves to men that they're attracted to. You could be smelling like doo-doo, okay, and most of these women will still, oh, is that near the end of the video? I didn't know. I thought the video was like 20 minutes long. Okay. All right, well, that's the end of the video for them. Okay. Maybe it'll go somewhere else and I'll just keep watching. But anyway, I want my woman to be attracted to me. I want her to be in love with me. She's not a bimbo. She's not a prostitute. We have that connection. But see, you got to understand, when women prostitute themselves, they prostitute themselves to young men as well as old men. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that, and we have over here in America, they call it something else over there. But here in America, we call that a sugar baby. When a woman sleeps with a man for his money, or sleeps with a man because he's keeping her, and they're not married. That's called a sugar baby, and that's called a sugar daddy. Okay? Over there, they call it something different. And they do have a name for it over there. But see, they won't say it over there. They'll say it behind their back because there's so much age gapping and huge age gapping. Like the Filipina here with her gorgeous self. She's with a dude that's my age. And I'm totally jealous. I'm totally jealous. I want to meet this creep. But the way she was all up on May or whatever his name, Bob and May or whatever her name is, his Filipina's name is May, and she's about as young as the Filipina P. And she's about, I'd say she's just as pretty. No, I think the Filipina P is prettier, but, I'd watch. You can't tell me that his wife don't get offended of her. When I watched the video, I thought that was her boyfriend. I thought, oh, that's the man the old man that she's dating, because he was like, then I'm thinking, he's way older than 56. He got to be like in his middle 60s, early 70s or something. This guy's old. He had to be in his middle 60s, at least. Okay? But he's sitting there and he's doing this interview with her. Now, everybody she does interviews with, they're sitting across the table from her, or they're online, or like, look, like she's sitting with these girls having a normal chat, and it's not like, oh, they're all lesbians. They don't look like a bunch of lesbians in the pool, right? They're all sitting there together, having a great time. But when she was with this guy, May or whatever his name is, I'd have to go in my history to show you, but I'm not going to incriminate her like that. But his wife is gorgeous too. Not as pretty as her, but she's very, very, very pretty. She was bumping shoulders with him. She's basically sitting on his lap. Like I said, everybody else she's done interviews with, they were across the table and so forth and so on like that. But when she was, on May's channel, okay, she was up on her husband like they were dating. I didn't know, I know how these Filipinas, they break up with guys and move on to the next guy like it's nothing. I know that. Okay? And I think I got one wrong, because there's the girl I'm thinking of right there. That's not her. She's his wife. Oh, I gotta watch this. My reaction to 3 videos, Filipina defending the poor and more. I don't know. I don't think he's going up against the P, because he's the one that did an interview. He did an interview with her. They also talked about the age gap. That's his wife. So she's married to a guy that's a little bit younger. I thought that was May's wife, or she's May. I'm lost, okay? Anyway, May's wife and her almost look like sisters, okay? She's built better, but this old man's wife, but anyway, she was leaning on him, shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee. If I had walked in the room and caught my wife sitting next to some old man like that, I'd have been like, y'all need to move apart a little bit. I understand y'all trying to make sure you all get in the video. You can get a whole nother person in this video. Move away from each other a little bit, please. Okay? And I'm thinking, maybe she is attracted to, old men that are that much older than her and all like that. But so I don't make this video super long, let me get into it. So again, I want my wife to be attracted to me. Most of us Western people, we want our wives and our husbands to be attracted to us. We want to have great chemistry with our wives and husbands. We think about sex and what that's going to mean, and the romance and what that's going to mean from day to day as we get older and all like that, where we're going to go, the things we're going to do. We think about all that stuff before we get married. And let me tell you, there's been plenty of these Filipinas, young Filipinas, marrying these old farts who have cheated on them, have used them just to get a green card. Now, the Filipina P will correct me on this, but she can't say that it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen a lot. It does. And these women have used these old men. Okay? They've used these old men. While they were showing their naked photos, and I said this in another video, showing their nude photos to somebody else that was younger. And some of them, they would cheat from one old fart to another old fart. And you find out later that none of these old farts were the one that they stayed with the most. They kept cheating on old farts till they got this younger dude that was in between in age, and they kind of settled down with him more. By this time now that I'm doing this video, she probably cheated on him too. Okay? Thing is, when the age gap is part of your culture, it's a lie. When the age gap is from person to person when you got one out of every 200 or more women who are into old farts like this. Okay? And you would think that if an old woman is into, if a young girl is into an old fart, he would be like a superstar. He would be like, you know, like somebody that's really, really, really good looking for his age, number one. And number two, he'd be somebody that's really healthy and in shape for his age. Like we got guys out there that are picking women up off the street. Women pay tickets to go see some of these old farts lift weights and beat all these young men bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like the guy that plays 007 right now. Young women brag about him, and you know, if I was a woman, I think he's pretty amazing too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? People like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I think Jean-Claude Van Damme, me and him is around the same age now. I think Chuck Norris is older than me. I know he's older than me. Okay? I mean, even Steven Seagal, my God, with belly fat. But at least these guys are superstars. At least these guys have something more than just being old. At least, you know, you would expect them to be with a wife that represents them because they're superstars. But this culture, when you ingrate the age gap into your culture like it's a natural part of your culture, let's talk about why that is. Number one, an old man is no competition to a young woman. Now, young men can keep up with young women, but an old man ain't gonna follow you everywhere. He already knows, oh Lord, she's probably doing Instagram and all like that. He probably ain't bothered about it as much as a young man would be. And a lot of these girls, they do love to, like these Filipinas, they're into themselves as far as like beauty and all like that. They love to advertise themselves as like this heavenly culture when white women, okay, and black women and women of other races start filling up the video footage in the Philippines. I wonder what kind of war that's going to be. Because when you look at the video footage, all you see is Filipinos and the men that are interviewing them, whether they be white or black. But you don't see no Filipinas hanging out with white chicks, you know, in the Filipinas, or you don't see no black celebrity women hanging out with these Filipinas talking about, yeah, come over here. Yeah, I'm looking for a Western man. I'm from Brazil, you know, in the Philippines. I want Western men, you know. Because then these Filipinas would have competition, but the Philippines is all about these Filipinas. They don't share their beauty and their food chain, so to speak, you know, with anybody. If black women started going into the Philippines, okay, and wanted to, like, you know, getting these videos with these Filipinas and you know, try to get them a foreigner because they've devoted their lives to the Philippines, you know. But it's like you got the Filipinas, and no matter which of them are married or have boyfriends, it seems like they're all single when you get there. But you got everybody else that's married. If a black woman's in the Philippines, she's married to a black or a white guy. If a white woman is in the Philippines, she's married to a white guy. If a Spanish woman is in the Philippines, she's married to a Filipino, or she's married to a white guy. Okay? But all the people standing around showing that they're available are the Filipinas. Sitting around, standing around, showing that they're available. I've been noticing that in the videos. I haven't been to the Philippines, like I said, but I've noticed that in the videos, okay? So first of all, there's no competition with an old man, okay? He's lucky to have her. And she makes him look like, oh my God, that's your wife? Oh my God. Okay. But what a lot of these old men are, what's happening to a lot of these old men is the younger generation men, okay, are starting to see right through that little game, and they go after their wives. They go after their wives. Younger men go after these young Filipinas when they see that they're with an old man. They go after them and they don't stop. They even go as far as like one guy said about, and he put this poor Filipina girl through college, and she's gorgeous, okay? He put her through college. Now, to me, their relationship, let me say this, when a relationship is about a man being a woman's redeemer, so to speak, we use that term in the Bible, kinsman, redeemer of some sort, okay? When a man appears to be a woman's redeemer, like he brings her out of a life of poverty, or he does something for her that her own father and mother couldn't do, and her best way to keep it within the family and to keep it clean is to marry the old man. I can understand the attraction there. I can understand where she would change what she normally was attracted to and go after the old man. She feels like she owes this old man her life. So I can understand that. Okay? There's no competition, and a young woman doesn't have to keep up with an old man, and she's in control because he can't keep her locked in the house, and he's not going to follow her everywhere she goes. It's different when a young man gets up in the morning and sees his girl getting ready to get all dressed up and go somewhere. Okay? That's where the competition comes in. Like, hold up. Because he can go do it too. He can get all dressed up and go take some pictures with a pretty girl. Okay? But, you know, I've even seen videos here on YouTube where they try to be funny about it. Even some of these black guys that are going to the Philippines and other Asian countries and you know, marrying or more like being a girlfriend, having a girlfriend his age, okay? He hooks up with these younger or just as young as himself, Filipinas, okay? What we're finding out is that a lot of these men are asking their Filipinos. I saw a video where this guy asked her, "Where are you going?" She says, "Oh, I'm going for a walk." He says, "You going for a walk looking like that? You need to look like that to go for a walk." But he made a funny video out of it. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, when you play an old man, he's going to walk away, or you're going to walk away, and he still gets to keep, hopefully, his money so he can die in peace. He can have a good funeral, even though he signed all kinds of agreements with you and you got his money. You're in his will and all like that. Okay? At least he can die in peace and die peaceably if you walk out on him, okay, or whatever. But a young man, if he got to keep asking you where you going dressed like that, he going to go find out where you're going dressed like that. He going to take a day off work, or he's going to take a day from doing business and go find out why you dress like that. Old man, it probably ain't going to do that. He's probably just going to assume. He going to be home praying for you because he ain't going to be following you all over the place, okay? That's one. And then the Filipina is in control when it comes to an old man. He's lucky to have her. Again, he's lucky to have her. And, you know, if he can get some booty out of it once a night, he may think that he's happy until he starts questioning her. And then when he hears the bad news, he can't get off the couch fast enough to slap her. Okay? He had a heart attack trying to get up off the couch. You know, she break his heart like that and tell him the bad news. And again, like I said, when you're old, the Filipina's the only one in the family between the two of you that's pretty. Okay? So it makes her more pretty because she got this old fart for a husband. And so it makes her acceptable to other men because other men are going to try very hard to get to her. Knowing that she's with an old man, knowing that, I don't know if I believe she really loves that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the Filipina P was all over Bob May or whatever his channel name is. She was all over him in this video, you know, shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee. I thought it wasn't until the end of the video I realized that was another woman's husband. But when she was doing that, I'm thinking, you know, is that something she only does with old men? Or does she do that with younger men too if she finds them attractive, knowing that she doesn't have to marry them, knowing that she doesn't have to commit them? That's another thing. Old men, knowing that these Filipinas can be, you know, have a tendency to be loose and all like that. And, you know, you tell an old man that you're going to marry him, it's almost like you can do whatever you want to do because, you're going to be his wife, but he's not paying attention to the fact, because he's like a little kid, you know, going back to getting candy all over again, getting penny candy again. He don't realize that what you do when you're away from your husband is more important than what you do when you're home alone with him. Because when you're home alone with him, ain't nobody there but the two of you. But when he's sitting at home, okay, puffing his inhaler and taking his meds, you're out there doing whatever. And to a lot of old men, you don't have to explain. To me, I'm old, but you won't explain. Come on, baby, come over here, sit down. I'm going to pour you a cup of coffee. You're going to tell me everything. Okay? And not only this, and this one hurts, but when he dies, okay, you could marry about 4 or 5 old men and get all their assets and never have to work. Just you know, you married this one, you know, y'all was together 6 years and you didn't tell your family how much you abused this old man. He died after y'all being together 6 years. You get everything, okay? You have to share everything with his children, okay? Another guy 4 years, another guy 4 years, another guy 3 years. Okay, this woman's loaded. She got cars and homes and you name it. Because she was in all these old men's wills. And they all naturally died before her. And, okay, I know that's rude, but I really believe, and I've heard stories, I'll have to apologize. I didn't want to put my do not disturb on because I'm waiting for a phone call. So I don't have my phone on do not disturb, but I want to hear all my alarms in that in case I get my phone call. I want to call them back. But again, there's no competition between her and the old man. She's in control. Okay, it makes her more pretty compared to her being with a man that she looks good with. Okay, and when he dies, again, she could be loaded by the time she dies. All the old men she done married. Okay, all the old weddings that she done had. Okay, also number 2, the old man is retired. A lot of these young men, they work. Now, in the Philippines, most of these young men are coming over there as businessmen, which to me is basically retiring early. When you walk into the Philippines and you're a businessman, you don't have to be here in the States to make your money. To me, that's retirement. But to some Filipinos, they like a man that's so old and retired that he don't get off the couch much. He don't go places much. You know, the honeymoon was good and all that, but I dare you to continue to say, hey, baby, let's go out dancing again. Hey, baby, let's go to the amusement park. Hey, I dare you to be a young stallion and want to do all these young things with your young Filipina. She's going to look at you like, if I wanted a young man, I'd have married one. I want a man that's going to sit at home and mind his own business. And I believe that. I believe that. Okay? He's retired. He's less concerned about his money. Young men want to do stuff with their money. If an old man got himself a 20-some, 30-some year old Filipina that's gorgeous, and everybody's looking at his wife like, man, life ain't fair. You know, he feels like he's already invested everything. He's got it. He don't need nothing else. And they know that. And, you know, compared to younger men, she knows that if she was married to a younger man, they both want to spend money. Like when I was married, me and my wife were both musicians. We both argued all the time with each other about what we were going to do with our money, because I got hobbies and talents and gifts, and she does too. And we both want to spend my money on both of our gifts and talents. I wasn't just sitting back saying, oh yeah, baby, you want that keyboard? Yeah, you ain't got to wait. Hey, it's in the account. Go get it. Hey, baby, you wanna add another credit card? Go, baby, I'll cover it. Whatever you spend, I got it. You go ahead. No, it wasn't like that. It was like she had to answer to me, and I had to answer to her. Okay? Retired and less concerned about his money. Younger expects more from his wife. He expects her. Younger men are more, if a younger man meets a young Filipina who putting this show on YouTube, okay, and wherever else she's advertising it, Christian Filipina or whatever, that she's so submissive, he's going to make her live that out when they get married. An old man might feel like, as long as she comes home, okay, and sits on my lap every night, okay, that might be good enough. Old is easier, and Filipinas don't like to wait. That's another thing I've noticed about Filipinas. They don't like to wait on love. They don't like to wait. And that might, and you know, like I said in a video that I just did, a man is a woman's status in the Philippines. And it doesn't matter whether that man is her age or older. But the more he's just going to sit at home and be that status, the better. A young man going out there and spending his money like she's spending his money, to her might be a problem. Okay? She doing TikTok videos. He doing YouTube videos with some other Filipinas. You know what I mean? She got that competition. She got that issue. But an old man don't really want to spend his money except on the bills because he's old. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just like right now, I can't wait to travel and go places and do things. But that's going to get real old real quick when I hit 65. Okay? I'm going to want to be more at home. I'm going to be glad to have a dog and just sit at home and play with the dog while my woman is doing other things. But is it fair, though? Is it fair? Okay? Is it fair to me that she's out there doing other things? Okay? And I think that's the big thing, is she's out there doing other things. Okay? So I'm totally against the age gap thing. I really am. And not that it's... I've seen couples who are true to the age gap thing. It was something that happened. It wasn't planned. But these women, these Filipinas, are planning it. And they're saying from a young age, after they've had a number of young men and then slept around and all like that, you know, and they're still broke, okay, they're going to sit there and say, okay, I like old men. But are they true? Are they true about the age gap? Are they true about it? Okay? And, you know, you'll notice that women that have more money, okay, to themselves, women that are more financially set before they start dating a foreigner. They usually go after a younger foreigner. It's the women that don't have much at all that when they get a foreigner, they really don't care how old he is, because it's either foreigner or nothing. It doesn't matter how old he is. It doesn't matter how young he is. But it should matter, because again, a man wants his wife to also be attracted to him and have great chemistry and romance with him, just like he does towards her. All of us guys can have, romance and attraction with just any pretty girl. But women are more particular for a good reason, bless God, and women are too. Having chemistry with certain men, whether they be young or old, and having romance and great sex with a certain type of man, okay, in a relationship where they actually truly honestly fall in love. Okay? So, again, I believe that maybe 1 out of every 200 women can be into the age gap thing. But when you make it a part of your culture, when over half the Filipinas that date foreigners are willing to date old men, they're going to be dying pretty soon. Okay? Men that are in their 60s and, there's an issue there. And they need to be honest about it. They need to come out and be honest about it. Okay? I'm going to be honest. I love me some Asian women, but I'm going to be honest. And when you're lying, I know you're lying. Okay? So God bless you. I am Deroy Cruz. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy this. Please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know how you feel. And I will talk to you soon with more. God bless you.